Hi, I'm Ethan Green from NoSleeplessNights.com, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of the Homedics Sound Spa Rejuvenate sound machine. It's a bit of a long name, that one, so I'm going to call it the Homedics Sound Spa for the purposes of simplicity in this review. Now, talking about simplicity, that's one of the key features of the Homedics Sound Spa that I really like. It's a very easy white noise machine to use that's not overwhelming in the number of features that it's got, which may or may not be a good thing depending on how much you like your devices to have extensive features or not. It's also a budget machine. I paid just under £20 for this one in the UK, so it's right at the bottom end of the spectrum of prices for white noise machines. So let's pop over to the table where I'm going to play through the sounds and talk about the features, which won't take long, and then wrap up with some pros and cons. Okay, the first thing to talk about with the Homedics Sound Spa is how you power it. This one came with a standard UK power adapter and cable, quite long as well, but you don't need to use that if you don't want to. And that's because on the underside, you'll see there's a battery compartment, and it takes, if I can open it with my nails, there we go. It takes 4 AA batteries, and it's one of very few white noise machines that can be powered that way. So you can have it either with the power adapter plugged in if you want to, or you can just use it with the batteries. And that's a great option if you want to use it away from a power outlet and you don't want it plugged in, or as a backup as well in case you have a power outage, then the batteries will automatically take over. So let me close that up, turn it over again, and now let's have a listen to the sounds. So what I'm going to do is play through all 6 sounds and not talk while I do it, so you can just have a listen. Okay, so those are the sounds. Now my opinion on those is that it's a bit of a shame there aren't more sounds, but at the end of the day, for such a cheap device, you're not going to get a huge range of sounds generally on a white noise machine. Now as for the sounds that it does have, I think that the white noise is kind of okay. It's quite high frequency as you'd imagine with normal white noise. It would have been good to have pink or brown noise, but at the same time, I'm not sure the speaker would have been able to cope with it really. The rain is good. I like listening to the rain, it's quite relaxing. The brook as well is good, and the summer night. I think those are probably the best ones on this device really. The ocean's okay, it kind of has those rolling waves, but you do get used to the sound of the waves with the looping. There's no click, by the way, or break at the end of the loops, it's continuous, but if you just listen to the same thunderclaps or ocean waves, then you will eventually spot them. As for the thunder, again, I think that perhaps the speaker can't really cope with the thunder so well. I think that really thunder is best suited to a better speaker. So now let's have a listen to the volume controls. I'm going to keep it on thunder, turn it on and go through the volume up and down so you can have a listen. And that's the volume. For me, I think the thunder kind of struggles on the lowest volumes and also on the highest volumes. So really, if you're going to listen to it, you kind of need it on the medium volumes, I think. The incremental volume controls are good. I think there's around 12 settings, but the buttons are a bit clicky. And I think all the buttons are a bit clicky on this device, really. So now let's talk about the auto off timers, because that's something that I do like about this device. You can see here, turn the volume down so I don't have to listen to that while I'm talking. You can see here that we've got a timer button, and we've got, when there's no LED indicated, that means that it'll be continuous all night. We've got 15 minutes, 30 minutes and 60 minutes. So it's good that it's got those timers. The LEDs, these blue LEDs, they're quite bright. They're not very big, but they are quite bright. So if you're someone that doesn't like to have lots of LEDs in the room, then perhaps this isn't going to be one that suits you. It also has a memory function, so if you turn it off and on again, it will start up with the latest settings. Okay, now let's talk about the pros and cons of the Homedics Sound Spa. As I see it, the main pro is the fact that it can be used either with the power adapter or 4 AA batteries. Because not many white noise machines can be used with AA batteries, then that's a really good feature that I know some people will be specifically looking for. So it's one of the main pros of this one, I think. One of the best points about the Homedics Sound Spa, I think, is the fact that it's just so simple to use. I think if you've got finger sensitivity issues and you need large buttons and you want to be able to easily find the buttons in the night time, for example, then this is definitely one to consider. And it's good that all the sounds are individually labelled. It's just easier to instantly locate the one that you want to listen to. It's also a very cheap white noise machine, so if you're looking to buy one on a budget and you just want a simple basic machine, you don't want to spend upwards of $100 or £100, whatever it might be, then this is one to consider. I do like the fact that it comes with a 3-year guarantee, which is longer than most white noise machines. Okay, now let's talk about some of the downsides. For me, one of the most glaringly obvious is the fact that it doesn't have a fan sound. It's just got 1 white noise and 5 nature sounds. So if you're looking specifically for fan sounds or deeper colours of white noise like pink or brown, which is quite popular these days, then I think this isn't going to be the machine for you. So really, if you're just looking for a few nature sounds and 1 white noise, then perhaps it's one to consider, but yeah, not if you like to have lots of variety of sounds. The second thing is that the speaker quality isn't that fantastic. I mean, if you're listening to it on the brook or the summer night, I find it's not too bad. You can kind of tolerate those sounds, but for me, I think the thunder particularly really shows up in the quality of the speaker. It just doesn't have a very rich and filling and bassy sound at all, which is, what you would expect from thunder. Another thing to consider is the loops. It doesn't click or stop at the end of each loop, but you can tell the loops with some of the sounds like the thunder, just because it only has a few different thunderclaps, and eventually you're going to spot them and go, oh, it's the same thunderclap again and again and again, which is pretty much the same with most white noise machines, to be honest. But yeah, it's one to bear in mind. But if you're listening to the standard rain or the white noise, you don't tell the end of the loop really. Another point to consider is that it's quite large, especially in terms of the width and the length. It's not too tall, but yeah, it is going to take up a bit of space on a nightstand. So my final verdict of the Homedics Sound Spa is that for a budget white noise machine, it's a pretty good one. Just be prepared to tolerate the lack of sound choice and the lack of bass in the speaker. And that's about it for my review of the Homedics Sound Spa. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did and you'd like to buy it, then you can find a link in the description below to do so. And please also subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep in touch and see future videos. Thanks again, this is Ethan from No Sleepless Nights.